Hello and welcome, good people, to my returning subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much for the support that you've always been giving me. To my new subscribers and viewers, feel most welcome. And this is Blossom Benta, and this is where we roll. So we've been talking more about the mysteries, the myths. The myths surrounding the death in the African community, especially amongst the Luo people in Kenya. That's the community that we have been talking about, and I talked about the naming the naming of the children, yeah, and I've talked about what else yes, I've also talked about the wedding spirits, nyawawa in my native language, that's Kijelu, the Luo and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about how can I say, is it curses or chira? Chira is like a curse. Yes, chira is kind of, I don't know how I can put it in a simpler language, but if at all you know what I mean, if at all you are from Kenya, Africa, or like you are a Luo and you know the meaning of chira in English, please, you can explain it on the comment section. Chira is like going against the norm. Yes, it's like going against the norm, going against the traditions. Let me say, going against the tradition of a certain community. That is chira, and chira is like a disease. Let me put it that way. Chira is a disease, especially if you go against the traditional beliefs of the people of a certain community. Yeah, what? How can I put it? If you go against the culture and tradition of a particular community, there is always like something like a punishment that that people always get, and this punishment is always in form of diseases, being sick, something of that sort. People say, in my language or in my native community or my native language, people always say call it yamo. Yamo is like wind, or yamo is like a disease. Let me say like a disease. So if at all you go against the norms, if you go against the customs and beliefs of a particular community, especially the Luos, you get chira. Chira is like a curse. Let me put it that way. It's a curse. So it is believed that, okay, if at all you have a dead person, or if maybe your husband is dead, or maybe your wife is dead, there are particular things that you're not supposed to be doing, and there are things that also you're also supposed to be doing. So if at all you don't do whatever you're supposed to be doing as a widow or as a widower, let's just deal on widows and widowers, because that is where this topic is going to. For example, if a man dies, or likely if your husband dies, there are things that you're not supposed to be doing. There are things that according to Chik is just tradition that you must follow. Yeah, there are things that you must follow after the burial of your husband, or after the burial of your wife. There are things that you must follow, that if at all you don't follow them, they're going to bring curses upon you or upon your immediate family. And immediate family, I mean your kids. So in the midst that concerns the dead, let's talk mostly about these two people, the husband and the wife. Your wife, for example, let's say for example for a man, if your wife dies, there are things that you're not supposed to be doing, and there are things that you're supposed to be doing. One, if at all your wife dies and your wife has already been buried, you're not supposed to be sleeping with with any lady immediately. There are things, as in, you are supposed to be mourning that lady, or your former wife, your late wife. You're supposed to be mourning the wife for a period of time, maybe like 1 year or so. And between this 1 year, you're not supposed to be sleeping with anybody. You're not supposed to be sleeping. Sleeping is like having sex. Let me say, just put it in a layman's language like that. You're not supposed to be having sex with any lady or any woman till you finish, you complete all the required customs and custom conditions that are required regarding the how can I put it, the after burial of your wife. I think we are together. We are together till now. I think we are together. So if your wife dies, you are supposed to mourn him. You are supposed to be mourning her for like 1 year, and you're also going to have your hair shaved to remove the yes, you're supposed to have your hair shaved after a period of time, because after 1 year you're supposed to like how can I put it, have an anniversary. Yes, it is like an anniversary, death anniversary. And in my language we call it, how do you call it in my language we call it sao. Sao is coming back to clear the burial ground, the funeral, the grave, yeah, burial ground. You come back after 1 year, you clear the burial ground where your wife was buried. Just clear it, then you party, they have like they slaughter animals, yeah, to appease the death of your former wife. Yes, to appease the spirit of your dead wife, so that your dead wife will allow you to do what? To remarry, or maybe like start sleeping around with any other lady that you're going to get out there. So this is what we are supposed to do. First of all, you mourn her for like 1 year. Then after mourning her for like 1 year, you do that anniversary. It's like an anniversary. Let me just say like an anniversary, whereby people come back, try to like clean the area, the grave area, something of that sort. And during this time, your wife is supposed to send you a dream. Yes, your wife or your husband, let me say that your wife or husband is supposed to be sending you a dream, and you are sending you a dream is dreaming about making love to her. Yeah, you'll start dreaming about making love to her, and when you start dreaming that you're making love to her, that is a go ahead that her spirit has rested, and her spirit has let you now to continue with your life the way you want. Like, continue with your life the way you want is like you can sleep with any other lady, you can remarry and such. So you'll find that there are people who cannot, like men, especially the men, who cannot stay for like 1 year without having sex. So there is how they do it. They can even go to they can go to a native doctor who is going to administer some herbs to them. They're going to have some concoction done to them and such. And I hear that they can also take his late wife's panties. Yeah, you take you can take the late wife's panty, take it with him to the native doctor, who is going to use this panty to like do some of those rituals, that these rituals that they're supposed to be doing once they are there with the medicine man or with the native doctor. So after doing those rituals together with this panty, there are things that he's going to be given, and there are things that he's going to be told to do. So by doing that, it's going to like quicken. It's going to quicken the time duration. For instance, instead of mourning the wife for like 1 year, you'll find that she or he is going to mourn the wife. Let me just dwell on the husband. He is going to mourn the wife for like maybe 6 months. Then after this 6 months, the wife is going to send him a dream. He's going to dream about him making love to his wife. By doing so, that means that the wife has already accepted everything, and the wife has already let him have his way around, and he's very free, very much free to sleep with any other lady and continue with his life as normal. So doing that, going to the native doctor is going to like quicken the dream. Is going to quicken the spirit of the wife to send him a dream that he's sleeping with her. By doing so, it's going to allow him to continue with his dream. So for example, what happens if at all you go against this norm? If you don't do that, if at all you're going to follow if I told you're going to follow the native doctor's advice of like sleeping, of like taking your wife's panties to him or her to quicken the dream, to quicken the dream of you maybe sleeping with the wife and with your late wife and such for it to like for you to be free. Or rather, you're going to wait for this 1 year, then after this 1 year you're going to have an anniversary whereby you're going to party, and after partying is whereby you are going to be allowed to maybe to continue with whatever you are doing. And why aren't you? Because you'll find that in the olden days, people never used to, like, most of the people were really afraid of maybe like eating food food from any other person, especially for example, if at all it is your home that is having a funeral, maybe one of your relatives is dead or something. People are really afraid of eating in those homestays. There are some homestays that you don't just eat like that. You don't just eat, because in the olden days they never took their dead to the morgues, because there are no morgues at all. So what they used to do is just keep the morgue in the house. I mean, take the, what do we call it, take some leaf, take some grass, spread it on the ground, take some charcoal, which is going to act as a cooling effect, spread it on the, what do we call it, on the dried grass, then sprinkle some water on it, like just like fridge. This the charcoal is going to preserve it in that the charcoal is going to, in case maybe, you know, there's some people that always smells so bad. Even if they die, they just start smelling so bad. They go, but they rot. Let me say, they decompose so fast. So this charcoal is going to act as a, is it decaying agent or something? It's going to like prevent that smell from getting out. You see, it's going to absorb that smell from the corpse. So it's not going to have that smell. The corpse is not going to smell. That is the reason why they grind some charcoal and then they sprinkle it on the grass. Then after sprinkling the charcoal, spreading the charcoal on the grass, they take some water. Then they sprinkle the water on top of the charcoal and the grass to act as a cooling effect. And then they lay the body over there. So the body can even stay up to 5 days without going bad or without decomposing. You see, so you'll find that on the day of burial, this body must be washed. It must be clean. So you'll find that in some homestead whereby they were witchcrafts, you know, you see, in the community, people are very weird and people are very different. People just do weird stuff. So you'll find that in some of the homes, most of the people, or not most, like let me say, like some people, especially these people who are really coming from witchcraft families, they used to like clean their dead body. And then after cleaning this body, the water that they were using to rinse this body is the same water that they were going to use. They just put it maybe on jerry cans, or maybe like this plastic containers. Then after potting them there, this is the same water that they're going to use to cook to the visitors who have come to mourn the dead. So you'll find that in most cases, people are warned against eating in those kind of homesteads. If you know that this home is full of witches and such, you don't just eat anyhow, because you'll end up eating food that were prepared using the water that was used to wash these cups. You see, it is all like a form of maybe like transferring those funny stuff to people. So people are really advised not to be eating anyhow in those homes. So if at all you go to this funeral, you must be very careful, because there are some homes that you are not even supposed to be eating. They're just witches. What they do are just weird. But nowadays, I don't think it's being done, because most of the corpses are taken to the morgues. But in the olden days, that is what they used to do. The same water that they used to like clean the body of the dead person, it was the same water that we're using to cook for the visitors. It was like transferring demons or evil spirits to people through the food that they were using. Okay, coming to that was just by the way. Yes, where was I? That was just by the way. So if at all, let's say for example, your wife is dead, there are things like I had already said. There are protocols that you're supposed to be following. After mourning the wife, you give yourself some time, and then you marry. Before marriage, you're supposed to have completed the required time frame of mourning, and that was like 1 year. But if at all you cannot even wait for that 1 year, what you're supposed to do, or what most people used to do back then, or maybe even now, I think they are still doing it, is take the panty of your dead wife, take it to the native doctor. The native doctor is going to do his magic, and after doing his magic, you're going to dream of yourself having sex with your partner. And that is just an okay for you to control. If you dream, if you dream of that, that means that your wife or your husband has allowed you to continue with your life as you should like, has allowed you to sleep with whoever you want. Now, my question is, what happens if at all you sleep with somebody, or a man or a woman who has just buried his or her spouse? Yes. These are the myths that surrounded the dead. What happens if you sleep with a woman who has just buried her husband, or you sleep with a man who has just buried his wife? What happens? What happens? Because you don't know. Because these things normally happens in towns. You find that a man has just like buried his wife at home after mourning the wife for maybe like for 1 month. That is back at home in the village. He comes back, maybe he's working in the city. He comes back. Then after coming back, because you're supposed to break that chira. Chira is breaking that curse. Now, after doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, like following the steps that you're supposed to be following, because nowadays it's like Christianity is overpowering everything, you see? It's overpowering everything. So people don't just follow them strictly, but there are still things that they're still following. So they come back to town. After coming back to town, this person is supposed to be sleeping around with anybody, with any girl. Then the girl that he sleeps with, that girl is automatically going to die, because it's going to be like you are going to act as a sacrificial lamb, of which you're going to die. By the way, if you sleep with this man, you're going to carry all. It is like you are the one that was used to complete all those customs and traditions that regarded that marriage union concerning between you and your late wife. I think we are together, because you are considered unholy if you are a widow or you are a widower. You've just buried you've just buried your husband, or you've just buried your wife. You are considered kind of dirty, so you need some cleansing. So most of the people believe, especially the Luos, they value sex so much. That is going to be a topic of another day. They value sex so much. Anything that they do, sex must be involved. Anything that they do, sex must be involved. So even in this scenario, whereby your wife is dead, or maybe your husband is dead, the first person that you're going to be sleeping with, this person is automatically going to die. What do I mean by going to die? This person is the last person, because having sex with a woman, that is the last part towards your salvation, or towards your freedom as a widow, as a man who has just buried his wife, or as a woman who has just buried his or her husband. I mean, that is the last phase. After completing everything, because after that you're supposed to have your hair shaved. If you are a man or a woman, you're supposed to have your hair shaved to have mourned your husband, and now the only thing that is remaining is just sex part, of which you're supposed to be finding a girl to sleep with, or you're supposed to be finding a man to sleep with, so that you can be free. And after sleeping with this man or this woman, you are now considered free. You've already finished all the customs and traditions, and all the conditions that were laid onto you, because you are a widow. You are newly, let me say, you are still new in widowhood, or you are still new in how can I put it? Yes, in widowhood. So the first person, if you are a man, the first lady that you're going to sleep with, that person is automatically going to die. And how is she going to die? First of all, the girl or the woman is going to be, the girl or the woman, yes, is going to start being sick. It's just going to be sickly. The hair color is going to be like somebody who has kwashiorkor or marasmus. You see, the body is just going to be like getting thinner and thinner, and then you're going to be the body is not going to be like your skin is not going to be like smooth the way it's supposed to be. It's going to be like ashy or something. You're going to start being thin. You see, those are signs of chira. You're going to, and if I told this woman or this man is also married, this woman that has been this man who has just buried his wife has left with, if you are a woman or you have a child, that child is also going to die. Your husband is also going to die, because you're going to take that curse with you to your own house. without you knowing, because you cannot know that this man has just buried his wife, or this woman has just buried her husband. You can't know. You can't know. You see, you can't know. So if that happens, you sleep with this man and you just go back to your house, and especially if you have male kids, these kids are going to die, because you're going to transfer that evil spirit to them. You're going to die. So for you not to die, these are that's just some of the myths that that concern that how can I put it? That are associated with the dead. You see, their spirits are still roaming around. The spirits are still everywhere. So sleeping with this person means that you're going to be taking away all those spirits. The spirit of the wife, you're going to be taking them with you to your own home. And what is this spirit going to do? It's going to destroy your family. You see. So if you've realized, because there are people who knows that these mean old women and and men who knows when it happens. If they just see you like this, they will know that, do you know what is happening to you? This is what you did. You've just left with somebody who has just buried his wife, or somebody who has just buried her husband, and now you have chira. You see, you have that bad disease that is now following you, and that spirit of the dead woman or the dead husband is still hovering all over you. And this is what the spirit that is going to be, to start killing you slowly, because it's not something that is going to happen automatically. It's going to be slowly, and in most cases even 1 month. It just takes from even some weeks or even 1 month, and you're gone. Yeah, you are gone. So if it happens, and maybe if somebody identified that, knows that this is what happened to you, this person can even take you to a native doctor. And this native doctor is going to give you some herbs that is going to counteract, those the bad spirits. He's going to administer some kind of treatment to you, and this treatment is what is going to help you. Now, after taking those kind of concoctions and even you are going to wash yourself with them, you're going to drink them, and you're going, there are things that you're going to be told. This is what you're supposed to be doing during this particular time, and this is not what you're supposed to be doing during this particular time. So you just go to those native doctors, and then after going to these native doctors, they're going to administer those kind of herbs or drugs that you're going to use to cleanse yourself, your whole self, and to you together with your whole body. Your whole family are going to be cleansed. All the family members, everyone that is around you in your home is going to be cleansed, for them to also be safe. Otherwise, all of you are going to die. So I can see that this video is going to be long, and I don't want to be long because it's already past 20 minutes. So we are still going to have a continuation of it, because it's interesting and scary at the same time. Interesting and scary at the same time. So if at all you've been watching me and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscription button, and remember to subscribe. Remember to like, share, comment. No, not just comment, leave a positive comment. And if there are some parts of some of my videos maybe that you haven't understood well, kindly feel free to tell me on the comment section. I'll go back to them and watch and tell you more and explain further what you need to know. So if you've been watching me and you haven't subscribed, kindly continue subscribing, continue sharing, continue liking, continue telling a friend to tell a friend about us, about this family, Blossom family. So till then, be safe.